Testing? 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 I am now going to say a sentence just to see how much of my sentences are being picked up by the mic, especially when it comes to the
Testing?
streaming situation. I am now going to say a sentence just to see how much of my sentences are being picked up by the mic, especially when it comes to the
Testing?
streaming situation. Oh god. It's doubling up now. I think it's fine now. It was doubling up. It was doubling up. Okay. Okay. Uh. Ah. Let's see. Will be answered after the recording of the episode. Okay. Hello. 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 I'm just practicing my hellos. practicing. Practicing. Practicing my hellos. Oh, I should remove that one. That one's not that interesting. You don't. Ready? I'm not ready. Cool. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hi. If you're if you're watching this, after the fact, after the stream, after the episode or whatever, when it doesn't matter in what situation you're in, this is going to be a recording of an audio episode, an audio. Oh man, I really suck at this. This is why I do some warm up before, but even then it's not enough, and I'm also just nervous because this one is gonna be a challenge. This is gonna be a recording of a podcast that I do, an audio podcast that is called DV City's Topics of the Day. You can find the podcast anywhere, basically, with Oh, I'm having some internet issues. Anywhere where podcasts can be found, I think. I at least found my podcast in a way. So, yeah. That's getting messages that it's not help. My bitrate isn't good enough, but I mean, it seems to be fine, right? I think it's fine. Anyway, today we're gonna be talking about a bit of controversies, a bit of drama, which I usually don't do, but I had a little idea. I was just thinking about people. I will tell this in the episode. Actually, I will not say it now. So yeah, and if you have questions, if you are in the live stream, which there aren't any people in live stream, to be fair, and questions will be answered at the end. If you have any questions, after watching the video or during the video, please put it in the description below. Or what? Put it in the comments below. Oh yeah, the podcast link is in the description as well if you want to find that. Yeah, that's basically it when it comes to audio streams. Bitrate is a bit low. What do they mean? Because it seems fine here. YouTube is tripping. YouTube is tripping. Anyway, so I'm gonna be. Oh wait, let me save on Audacity already. Always save your projects before you start recording. You never know. No? You know. This episode is gonna come out in 2 weeks, actually, because I already have one lined up for this week. So this one is coming out in 2 weeks. Social cancellation. Okay. Psych myself up. So. Hello and welcome back to the DV City's topics of the day. That sounds so cliche. I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for today because today I have a very different episode. Today I'm gonna be talking about social cancellations, which is gonna be a bit of a bit controversial, I guess. There's gonna be controversial topics, so if you're sensitive to those, please take heed of this one. If this is not your style of episode, just skip to the next one, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. I just had a topic I wanted to talk about today because it really been lingering in my mind. I was thinking earlier about all the people I used to watch on YouTube, and just the enjoyment I had from those times. Because I was talking about, or I was watching something with Kasim G today on it, and I was like, oh my god, that's Kasim G. And then you go in the comments and you see, oh, no one knows who Kasim G is anymore. And that made me think about all the other celebrities, or I guess internet celebrities that I used to watch and know. And then I realized, oh my god, a lot of them are gone. A lot of them have controversies and they just faded away in obscurity. It's really sad. But that made me think about, it's been on my mind for a bit already, but like cancellations, because it's been a recent topic already. We're gonna talk about the recent ones later in this episode. I know more about internet controversies, I guess, because I watch a lot of streamers, but technically a lot of YouTube videos about streamers. That's basically my pastime. And I have my favorite YouTubers I watch. I have my favorite streamers or favorite videos from streamers I watch. Oh my god, I said it in a weird way. And I've just been thinking about how just the idea of cancellation is kind of weird, right? Because as you can see on screen, I haven't even said that part yet. This recording is also done in tandem with a YouTube video. You will find the YouTube video on DV City at YouTube. If you wanna see the video version of this episode, please go watch it there, and you will have some visual aid for this one. I didn't have any visual aid on the last video I did. This one I have visual aid. I have a whole thing lined up. I will read most of the things for our friends in the audio form. Not that I have a lot of listeners yet, but I got you either way. Doesn't matter if you're in the past or future. This is just something I want to do for myself. Anyway, so. But if someone's there, it's all the better, right? Everything is better with more people. Anyway. As I have here on the screen, it's an Urban Dictionary definition of cancelled. And it says here, to dismiss something or somebody, to reject an individual or an idea. With the example, Kate, I love donuts, used as a bun to my burger. And someone very disgusted with that and says, ew, you're cancelled. It's a very, shortened version of that definition. There are more that are a bit more on the nose, I guess. But the basic idea is, I guess when someone has a controversy, that leads up to the people that watch them to just abandon them, and even shun them, and even more maybe the friends of that person, the famous friends, just shunning that person into basically oblivion. Until, and that's the weird part. That's the one thing I also want to talk about. Until the part where they come back sometimes, and how is that? How does that happen? And why does it happen? And then you have the ones where after a while the people turn their idea on them. I'm not gonna judge anyone. I'm not gonna, um, I'm just gonna state facts in this episode of what I've seen, and I'm gonna call out a few notable cancellations that I know or have had effect in my life in some point, and how I feel about them, and how um, yeah, just the weirdness of it, right? Just note the weirdness of those cancellations, just for fun. Just for fun. I don't mean harm to anyone, to any of these people. And I don't have enough of a following to even have people go after other people. So I'm not really scared about that. But either way, I don't mean harm to these people. I'm also gonna do my best on the video proportion to blur out, because either way, this is also a live stream sort of. But I have something in place that helps me blur out pictures when the pictures are showing other people that are not connected, or that we don't need to reiterate to the controversy, because it's about the ones who are guilty, not the ones who are victims. You know, so I also have something that blurs names, blurs photos. So yeah, I'm just gonna do my best, and we're gonna see how far this takes us. Yeah. So if you're ready, we're gonna take a trip through history of notable cancellations. And I think the most notable of cancellations, I guess, when you need to explain, why did that happen? Why the most notable of cancellations that happened in when you think about celebrities, is probably Michael Jackson and his problem, or his controversy with Neverland. He created Neverland as a haven for his childhood, basically, because he was a child at heart, and he basically lived out his childhood in later years, when he finally could and had the how should I say, expendable income to put towards those things. So he made Neverland, which is supposed to be Neverland is obviously a reference to Peter Pan and the island they are from, where kids don't age, and just still stay children forevermore. Um, and there were some kids that got invited to Neverland, got to hang out with Michael Jackson, and there were some controversies connected to that. Um, and they were known way back then, and only just recently did the children that grew up by this time come out and um, talk about what happened back in the day, and how it was yeah, uh, it was quite troubling for these young people. I'm forgetting words for some reason. I'm really sorry. Anyway, so that was a big problem. The interesting part about Michael Jackson is you can't tell me, you can't tell me that Thriller is not a great song, right? You can't tell me that Billie Jean is not a great song. And the whole problem with his fame is that at some point everyone had to make a decision. Do we remember Michael Jackson, or do we remember his songs? You suddenly had to really separate the art from the artist, and not everyone can do it. You have a lot of people who chose to go for just um uh not listening to any Michael Jackson songs anymore, because of the controversies. You have people who just choose to ignore the controversies and just keep listening to the songs and singing his praises. I am more of in the middle of those. I think you really should be able to separate the art from the artist. The art is good. The artist, I mean, still, no. I guess it's confirmed now, right? I would say it's allegedly. I guess I still stay. Still, I will still say it's allegedly because I don't know too much. But there have been already confirmations, right? Whether they are right or not, I guess they're allegations. Yeah, so allegedly. Let's say allegedly. I should be careful with all of these actually because there's a lot of alleged things that happened, confirmed as well. But I think because they're in a lawful gray ground or whatever it can be called. I think I said everything the wrong way, but I think you know what I mean. I think I should be careful about what I am saying for these people. Anyway, Michael Jackson, right? After that, we have Chris Brown, right? He had a big one because he had a problem with domestic abuse. He was accused of it, so allegedly again. There are proof, but it's still, let's say, still alleged. Um, he in a certain situation in a Lamborghini, it was alleged that Chris Brown and Rihanna had a fight, where Rihanna was came out of the Lamborghini pretty bruised up, and something must have happened, and I don't know. Wait, did she ever? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if she actually accused him of it, but I'm going to guess yes. Yeah. So yeah. So, but that was a big controversy, right? And it was very shocking. And these are times where the word cancellation in its current meaning, of internet cancellations, it didn't exist in that way yet. So it was very shocking to hear about that. There was also a situation where he threatened a woman with a gun at his house that I don't know too much about. But when you think about it, in his case, it's kind of interesting, right? Similar with Michael Jackson's. He is still making music. Still in 2023, he has singles where he's the lead singer. He still has albums coming out, and he has been doing it for quite a while after that controversy. So, you know, it's interesting to see how people forget, or do they actually, separate the art from the artist? Well, I'm not gonna answer any of these. It's just an observation, and we're just gonna move on. And you can make your own conclusions. I have my own conclusions. I do not have to share them. I can share them if I so see, if I deem it worthy. But yeah, I think it's better to have your own opinion on most of these things. Don't follow my opinion, but you can follow my observations. I hope these are not biased. I mean, these are facts, right? There's a lot of facts in this. Okay, wait, let's go to the next one. So I at some point thought okay, I don't really know much of celebrities and these are what you would say mainstream celebrities. There's a lot of um uh, uh, mainstream celebrities, like actors, that can be named in this. I see Bing here on the right has also given a list of a few. I forgot Elon Musk. He's also kind of cancelled. Amber Heard is a good one to mention. You also have here, they have a list of people. For some reason, Chris Evans because of a nude photo. Um, let's see, J.K. Rowling. So J.K. Rowling is an interesting one, right? Because J.K. Rowling was cancelled pretty recently, 2020, because she had really weird opinions about gender. Specifically, she didn't really have great opinions about trans people. And but it really didn't start there. I think the first time I heard about controversies about J.K. Rowling and her, um, yeah, I guess different view of um I guess LGBTQ kind of situation because the I'm not making sense. I'm sorry. Let me start over. The first time I heard about J.K. Rowling's weird views is when I heard she was talking about Professor Dumbledore, especially I think it was in the sixth or seventh book. Um, was there a seventh book? I think there were six books, right? In the sixth book, where there is a scene that kind of alluded that Professor Dumbledore might have been gay, or yeah, might have been gay actually, and that he had a lover, right? And but then and that was fine. I mean, okay, fair. But then she walked that back in interviews, and that was like, okay, why is she walking that back? I mean, it didn't matter either way, because there was a lot of controversy at some point that she is pushing a narrative or pushing a LGBTQ narrative, and I think she made a super 180 from that, and just denied it and said, I don't think that part was written the right way. I never should have written that. And then made Dumbledore straight again. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. Could have done that in the beginning. So, but now with more things coming out, she's not okay with trans people. You know, she's still she's still there. She's still earning a lot of money for this property. She's untouchable, basically, is what I'm saying. So this is an interesting one, where someone who's so controversial is basically untouchable. I mean, you still have people like the developers of her game, or the game based on her property called Hogwarts Legacy, who introduced a trans character, pretty major trans character, in the game. Serona Ryan was her name. I forgot her name, so I had to write it like this: trans character, Hogwarts Legacy in the search bar. But Serona Ryan is a trans character, and it it was basically, it was controversial at the moment when this game came out. And then at some point, the team had to basically, they first said, "Oh, we are working closely with J.K. Rowling on this game, so we have her blessing on a lot of things." But one of the things that they had to, they had to separate her. The developers had to separate themselves from J.K. Rowling when controversial statements about transphobia started coming out, and it's like, ooh, yeah, we'll separate. We'll separate. I mean, it's cool. We made the game. It's with your blessing. Ooh, Next one. So, I was then again thinking about all the celebrities that I don't know about that had a controversy. I don't really care for those. Oh God, I'm gonna ad block this ad block. Oh God. Oh, they did a good job on this one. I don't really care for this site. Anyway, or didn't I do that right? Wait, hold on. Fuck. I'm sorry for the listeners. I'll be right out of this portion in a minute because, oh my God. Yes. Oh, it worked, I think. I didn't have this problem when I was researching this. Oh, it worked. Cool. Well, this is for the video people. If you want to block the ad block thing, ad block thing, you just block the ad block thing. Anyway, and I looked up this list and I looked at it and I was like, okay, I don't really know many of these people, so I can't really note anything about them. But then I also looked at Queen Latifah and I was like, oh, I didn't know she was part of. And then I read this and I was like, Queen Latifah has yet to come out of the closet, but she has been open with her support of LGBT rights and equality. And I was like, okay, so this list, what I'm looking at, is celebrities who are outed. So basically, outed. You had a lot of those articles. I just realized I wasn't really clear for the listeners. Listen, you know those articles where they would say like X celebrity is gay. Did you know? And this clickbaity thing, and because I was thinking about like controversies is one thing, but there was also like when with this whole talk about transgenders and LGBTQ, I just thought like, oh my god, there were also celebrities just being canceled for being gay. So I just tried to find a list of those. That's what this was actually about. Um, and then finding Queen Latifah in there and all these other people that I don't know about, and I was like, and seeing that sentence, I was like, okay, this list, it goes nowhere. So let's skip that one. Then I thought about Justin Bieber, because I suddenly remembered, oh yeah, Justin Bieber, celebrity, weirdest childhood for him, I guess. And he had the weirdest also opinions on certain stuff, especially in interviews. He would say the weirdest things. And it's so controversial that they have full lists of what he did. Most of these other people that I searched, the controversy I was looking for actually popped up. For him, there were so many, but I think for him it's kind of unfair. But he was canceled for a lot of things. There was also, what was it again? There was some abusive thing happening, right? Um, now I don't. Now I have to check the list. Give me a moment. But I think for Justin Bieber it's kind of unfair because he has been brought up in a weird way, right? He started out on YouTube, doing his little cover videos. People, he got noticed and scouted, uh, and basically from then on, his life took such a weird turn, and it's normal to think about if you think about all the the stress he probably has been going through. Um, what? Anyway, um, but I mean, he's also one of these people where you have to separate the art with the artist, where his music is really good. He's a great singer. We can't deny that. I mean, yes, he had back in the day with his earlier songs, he had a real baby song, haha, funny. I mean, baby voice song, singing voice, but but wasn't he? I mean, and he was a good singer even back then, right? I see it. Oh, there's a lot of, yes. This is the one I was thinking about. He was arrested for drunk driving. That was the big one that stood out to me, where he was pretty much canceled back then. But he's kind of back. I think with him, it's kind of funny because oh my god, I'm seeing a lot of controversies on my screen. If you're looking in the video portion, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna reiterate these for the audio portion, but what I'm trying to say is, he had a lot of things going on in his life, so it's kind of understandable. His songs are great. He every time he has a controversy, he kind of disappears, and after a while he comes back. And when he comes back with a music album or a music video, and people like him a bit again, and then controversy start to come up again from people who are against him, and this is just the most extreme version of a musical celebrity, especially one as controversial as him. Okay, he's a YouTuber, and I am more familiar with YouTubers. So the first one that comes to mind for me is Toby Turner, or Tobuscus. His controversy was that an ex girlfriend of his accused him of I don't want to use the word specifically because that is quite triggering for YouTube, and I think also for podcasts. So let's just say he sexually assaulted. I think that's fine to say. Um, that was the allegation, so allegedly, right? And it never got to the point, I think, where a court case was made against him. He was never brought to court, but he was canceled significantly. That he disappeared, or at least he chose to disappear for a long time, and only just recently started coming back and doing videos again. But the strange thing about him, like, to be honest, his it was never confirmed was my thing, and you should always, they say you should always believe the victim, and I'm not gonna make any um yeah, I'm not gonna judge anything there, but okay, let me just leave it there. I think it was, considering what was said, it's fair to cancel him. Um, but I still wonder what the reality was. I don't think he ever said if it was fake or not. You see here discussion about it being fake or not. Yeah, he responded. I mean, there's a lot of things being. I think what he said was, because I was watching his videos back then and I was really shocked by it. So I did try to think, try to listen to like what is actually the thing that happened, and he said he was just trying to be a good boyfriend. So that is a weird thing to say after such allegations, right? But I think what he meant to say, or what if I have to interpret it in one way, and it's probably wrong, and don't put any weight to my words. But the my head canon basically is, um, he has too much energy. We all know that, or people who watched him know that he had that energy on him, and he had that dog in him, right? And I think he sometimes gets too super excited for things, and I think his super excited self can get a bit weird during intimate situations, and I think that's what they are talking about. He got too forward with his efforts. Let me put it like that. I think that's what happened. Well, he came back, and most people kind of missed him, so they were welcoming him back. But then he showed a lot of, I think they call it right wing or left wing. Which one of the is it? Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. No, I'm not good at American politics, but he got very Republican views, um, and views that are very misogynistic sometimes. So yeah, hmm. I don't know, and then that makes me also like hesitate on my headcanon. So maybe I should have never looked back on him and left him for what he was. We're going to continue to Felix Shelberg, or PewDiePie. He had a big controversy where he used racist language or anti-Semitic imagery. Oh, I guess he did do the anti-Semitic imagery, but that was in jest. I mean, this is difficult, right? Because if you think about it, his videos about anti-Semitic stuff was not any better than that movie from Taika Waititi where he played Hitler. So it really depends on how you view it. But the racist language part, that was the big one, because ooh, I forgot about this part. Yeah, yeah, there were two there were two racist things, I think he said. He did it to incite just shock, and because that was his whole um that was the era. That was just his era where he just did shock value stuff, and it kind of got too much. There was one with the bridge. The bridge was a very unfortunate thing that happened. I won't explain it too hard because, or actually, I can say it. He just got way too excited and used the N word, when it wasn't really, it's not justified. Especially since he's white, it's not really justified in any kind of way. But he was canceled for that. He lost a lot of deals he had. He was connected to Disney for a while, and that ended. He had a show called Scare PewDiePie that ended. But he mostly bounced back and he shifted his content for a bit, and just a lot of, I think, self reflection, and he kind of got deep into stoicism, and that mentality just you know it shaped a different kind of man that and he shared views with his viewers that kind of redeems him sort of, because doing the racist language thing is kind of unforgivable no matter what. And but he knows that part, and he always talks about that one controversy with the bridge, because that's why I mention it like that. Is that's the event how it's called is the bridge. That's where he said the word. And but I think it's then a weighing of good against evil, right? I think PewDiePie has been more good than evil across his lifetime, where these days he's more advocating for self help, um, just general laughter, stoicism, um, and just good vibes basically. And he's recently became a father, which is a very cute thing that happened. And he's sharing that story, and it's really good because his journey feels like growing up, right? It's like you have your rebellious era, and then you mature, and we've really seen the maturity of him. He's definitely not the same person he was back then. Um, even if it's somewhere in there, but at least he has a better grip on that person. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So he's someone, an example of someone who has successfully bounced back, by staying. Um, whoa, that caught me off guard. By staying grounded, just down to earth. Um, while Tobuscus, for instance, did not have that luxury. Okay, and like Tobuscus, we have another one which was very controversial. Whoops. Is Jared Knoppenbauer, or Pro Jared, on YouTube. He's kind of like a very his like I should probably compare him somewhat with PewDiePie, but he's kind of like the mix between the both, like Tobuscus and PewDiePie. I was really sad when this happened because it was so shocking, and I followed his stuff, not like religiously or anything, but it was funny stuff, right? He made a lot of funny reviews about RPGs, and there's not a lot of content creator who can make funny videos about Japanese RPGs or American RPGs, and I was kind of missing that, and he delivered. That's basically it. Sadly, it came out that he's a bit of a freak. He's a bit of a freak. He used to have manage a site. I believe it was on Tumblr, where people could send in their let's say X-rated photos, and he would just display them there, talk about them and rate with a T. um, and he would also have conversations with people about the same subject. But what he always claimed to have done is that he would always do it with like have conversations with people who are confirmed to be 18 plus, right? Like 18 or older. Um, However, there was a group of two girls, who alleged that he asked for photos, and also send them photos while they were underage. This has been proven to be false. He has, after some time, it did take him some time, but I think he was genuinely shocked. He was not shocked about um, the other controversy that we're gonna talk about in a bit. But he was more shocked about these two fans that alleged this, because he was for certain sure that he had correct communication. So he laid everything on the table. He said, "Look, these people told me they were 18. They just conveniently left that part out in their screenshots of the conversations." So yeah, that was a mess. The one thing he is cancelable for, or was canceled for, was because he cheated on his wife, and he cheated on not only with his he cheated on his wife with his or with one of his friends' wife. So that is a whole mess. But in my opinion, this is a controversial opinion that with my friends I don't even get. We're not on the same page on this one, and I get it. I definitely get it. But I think, in my opinion, celebrities having adultery drama, it's not a crime, specifically, and you can't. I'm not saying you should not cancel people if they didn't commit a crime, because this is a social taboo, right? So it's kind of frowned upon. So socially speaking, you should cancel him. But in my opinion, there's also a privacy element to it. There's no reason, and the reason why this cheating allegation came out is because the wife eventually started tweeting about it on Twitter, and showing her receipts about it, and that's when it came out. But it was totally not necessary to do it in public. Because think about it. Do you really think that none of the celebrities you have looked up before, or looked, you had celebrities in in those days that also have committed adultery at some point in their life, but since they did it behind closed doors, and if it was ever found out, it's like, they're actors. This is what happens. It's Hollywood, baby. um and I'm kind of like, that's what my stance is. Like, these are celebrities, and I don't really care about the celebrity part. It's their private life. If that happened in their private life, let them settle it between themselves, and I don't need to judge anyone by that standard. It's still a shitty thing, and it's already out in the open, so he's cancelable for that. He's also cancelable for the X-rated side, I guess. It's a bit too risky of a thing to have while you're trying to make a child friendly, a family friendly show on YouTube. So that's kind of weird, but there are more stuff like that happened. I won't talk about some of the the extreme versions of that, but yeah, I think his controversy, and that's also, I think, what other people have thought, because when he came back, he did eventually come back with his show on YouTube, and he was cautiously welcomed back, and he also cautiously um came back, just just dipping his toe in it and see how far he can get. And it's working out for him. He's back basically doing his thing. But this is also a situation where in my case, for me, I have just separated who this person is with the art that he makes, and so I would not really watch his streams as much. I have watched a few streams that are funny, but when some of his personal opinions just get in, I just have to think back about the controversy, and I'm like, never mind. I'll just watch his YouTube videos, In the same vein, there's Boogie2988. He was relatively recently cancelled. For several things. But like, he had a weird cancel cycle, right? He was an overweight, they would say morbidly obese. That's not me saying it. That's just also what he's the what's it called? What the doctor observed? No, diagnosed with him with, yes. The diagnosis of him is that he's morbidly obese. And but the interesting, if you don't know Boogie2988, you might know him, his videos back in the day. he used to make videos where he played a character called Francis, who is a angry video game nerd kind of guy, always ranting about you know life in general, basically, or games in general, just stuff that we are thinking but not really saying. But at some point, it turned out that all the things he was saying as Francis were not really the only thing. Oh my God, what's happening here? Anyway, they were not only the things he was thinking as his character, but he might have been thinking it all the time. Because when he was making a split personality between his Francis character and his own human self, right? He would make his own self seem more mature and collected, and he would make great comments about the current state of the gaming industry, at the YouTube industry, and more. But eventually, after a while, and after getting money, and after he just spiraled outward infinitum in infinitum. If you want to learn more about that, there is a great video that was made by let me see. I don't know if it's right here. I and I do really want to find which video that was, but I'll check it in a bit and I'll let you know. But he also had some controversy where he would have fights with some YouTubers. He would incite fights and be very defensive. And at some point, in a weird situation where someone went to his house and he opened the door, he showed off his gun and shot in the air a few times, which is not correct way of handling things. Which made him spiral more. So he's not technically hard cancelled for any distinct situation, but he's just he over time we've just noticed that he just spiraled so far away that we should just leave him in the past. That's basically what this came down to. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, because he was also a receiver of the gaming awards, or the game awards, notable gamer of the year or something. It's called something like that. Because he was kind of, the Mr. Rogers of the internet, right? Just the all time good guy, who had great opinions to share with the rest of the class. Yeah, not anymore, not anymore. So he spiraled. He very much spiraled ever since he got his gastric bypass. Sadly, we really hoped the best for him, but he didn't. He didn't really get anywhere good. Sadly. Speaking of being sad, one of the things that made me really sad was the controversy of Mr. Cryotic. Don't look at the right side here. On my screen, you will see a few faces. Not all the faces. I know I'm not sure if any of these faces are his face, and I don't really care if they are. But one of the problems that Cryotic had to deal with. I also don't know if the name Ryan Terry that's being mentioned here is his name, and again, I don't really care because that was his thing, right? Cryotic had a real hard stance on what who he is and what his face looked like, and he wanted that to be hidden behind the Cryotic name. And I think even after all the controversies, it's fine to just keep it there. The real problem with him and what made me sad is he was accused here. I see allegedly. Was accused of engaging in explicit activities with more than 18 women, some of whom were underage at the time. And he also, just like Pro Jared, I think it was a cheating situation where he had a relation with a girl his friend was interested in or something like that, or it was his girlfriend, his friend's girlfriend, and that spiraled all out of control. So that was a very sad one to hear about, because uh, Mr. Cryotic, his sultry voice for his gameplay was something that can't be found as much anymore on YouTube, and it will very well be missed. But since his because he did videos where he just did gameplay. That's the only thing he did, but he did it with a really cool style, and he really pulled you in, and the parasocial relationship actually that you would get is kind of unhealthy, especially when you look back at it. But since he started streaming, I guess his personality started to come out more, and yeah, I guess I think he just got it way too far in his brain, how much of a celebrity he is, and yeah, didn't really pack out well. Yeah, so sadly he never returned. I don't know what happened to him. That was the end of it. It was a cool era back when he was still friends with PewDiePie, but that sadly is a fantasy that has happened once. Zero Wondering is a Smash Brother, Super Smash Brother player. Uh he was also a sad one, and this is a sad era because it wasn't only him that got canceled in this time for sexual misconduct. I think it was, but let me see. Oh, it was just sexual messages, I guess. So for him, it wasn't the worst, to be honest. And to be fair, when he returned, because he recently returned back to doing some videos, I didn't see him doing any more videos since then. So I'm not sure if he's really back or he's just figuring things out still. Let me see. I should have looked that up before I started making this video and episode. Let's see. Yeah, that was 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and he hasn't made a video since. I guess because the videos were not doing well for him. I mean, what did you expect? Not to say that he wasn't making any interesting videos, but yeah. He was also kind of a controversial character in its own right, right? He was going more for the edgy content, not super edgy, but just the edgy jokes and stuff like, right? Okay, he's more of a crude little character, but he's not the worst of them all because the worst of that group was technically someone called Nairobi, Nairo, who sexually had a sexual encounter with another man uh, called Captain Zack when he was 15. Oh, he's kind of a. I shouldn't have. Anyway, we'll scoot past that. I should have done better on that one. My bad. But it's. I mean, he is older now, but back in the day, he was just 15. So it was definitely a mind. How should I say, an underage issue, but also no one knew basically that Nairo was an LGBTQ or just uh, came out as gay or anything like that. So that was the first anyone has ever heard of that. Not that that's a cancelable thing, and I think that was not even the issue here. It was just a shock. But the problem with the sexual allegations, and there were more sexual allegation coming out from several Super Smash Brother um, several people in the community. Speaking of gaming, next we have Ryan Haywood. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that Nairo eventually did come back from just being away. From what I understand, he has patched things up with Zach already, with the a guy that he had some situations with. I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that one works. Nairo is a kind of a enigma when it comes to that. I don't know how you returned into fame in any way. I don't really care that much. I don't really watch him that much, but he's still around. I've seen his videos around again. Um, and that's interesting, right? It's interesting to hear about that. Another one that I wanted to talk about was Ryan Haywood. This one really crushed me back then because I did like his videos on Achievement Hunter in Rooster Teeth. And Rooster Teeth itself has a lot of controversies on its own, but that's not. Rooster Teeth was never really cancelled, so I didn't really wanna put Rooster Teeth in this list of names, but Ryan Haywood and also Adam Kovic, who were both in Rooster Teeth at the time, had a really weird situation where they. I mean, Adam Kovic is kind of. From what I understand, Adam Kovic is pulled into this controversy because both were laid off at the same time. But Ryan Haywood had a issue where he got it too far in his head, started messaging his fans, and they at some point had some situations in their hotel at a convention, um, which was not great. This is this was definitely not great. Adam Kovic, I think, was just canceled for some reason because he had video or photos of him having some sexual encounter with his own wife, I think. I don't know if that was the only thing, but I think it was, and he was just pulled in, and because of the leak of that, he kind of had to be canceled in the same way, which that's the only thing I have. Yeah, here it says after explicit photos were leaked online alongside allegations, the pair were soliciting on the well. I don't think it was a pair situation. That's what the thing is. They are not from the same group, and they were not in contact in any way with this. So this is kind of the weird thing with these two. But Ryan Haywood definitely a piece of shit. He was shunned by his co-workers. Immediately, yeah, basically they separated ties from him and Adam Kovic, and yeah, his they were never heard from again. I don't think I have heard anything about these two guys again. But probably for the better for them, because I think also Ryan Haywood was just not. He was not ready for the internet. He never was. Okay, let's go to a bit lighter story, and that is the Fine Brothers. They were canceled because they tried to trademark the word React, and license the React video format that they claim to have kind of created, or just made it theirs, right? And that would have been a lot of and there would have been a big problem with that because there's a lot of videos that already existed that have the word React in them and that are in the reaction video format. And luckily, nothing happened from this, but they didn't get scot free from this. I think at the moment the Fine Brothers channel I think doesn't really exist or doesn't exist under that name anymore. And then their React channel just is now called React. Oh yeah, I see it here. React is the Fine Brothers became the React channel. I don't know if they're still part of that team, but it got them in really big trouble back then. No one was on their side in this one. So yeah, um, that's their thing. So, nothing too big. It's just they wanted to trademark the word React, had financial gain on the mind. Back to sad stories. We're going into the streamer space now a bit. And we're coming close to the end of this episode. Oh my god, it's super late. Um, and going to recent stuff. Fedmeister, part of Offline TV, was cancelled because there were allegations against him from a lot of people in the offline TV community, or just offline TV group. So yeah, just terrible all the way, right? He just got a bit too much in his head. I guess he was just too close because they were all living in one home, right? And I guess he got just too close to the ladies in that house, and it was too much at some point, and they had to just shun him and throw him out. Um, there. Yeah. These two are interesting. Here you have Natsumi, which was a streamer. She was recently, I think, just this year, canceled, kind of. This is a weird one and a funny one. Well, funny one. It's just a weird one to talk about because she's not actually canceled. There is something that happened. No one knows what, but we can kind of guess in with enough certainty what happened. Last year, I think they were supposed. Natsumi was supposed to be wedded to another streamer called Babo Abe, but at some point, was it this year? Yeah, this year. This year, Babo Ape just oh, the wedding was supposed to be this year, right? Because they had an engagement last year, I think, and yeah, just sometime before or after. Oh, it was after the wedding, right? It was after the wedding. After the wedding, they just broke up suddenly, or there was a divorce, and that was it. There is some. I think she addresses it at some point. I haven't heard that one. If it really is this, because there was a lot of videos that were coming up that were saying this, but they were not actually her addressing anything. But in any case, it was just you can see from which one of these two, Babo Abe or Natsumi, is still friends with the friends they have had, and who isn't, and you can see from that who the one was at fault, and it's most likely just Natsumi who did it. This is also the first female one that we now just show up. That shows up. Anyway, next one is Albert Chang, who's also connected to. Oops, I kind of wanted to blur all that. Oop. Anyway, that's kind of late. It's kind of late. Ah, man, I'm really effing this up. Oh God. Everyone knows. Nothing's working as it's supposed to. Come on. Not working. Anyway, it doesn't really matter anymore. If you look it up, you could just find it. Ah! Anyway, he was canceled because he cheated on his girlfriend back in the day, and it was really bad. That's basically it. I don't know much about Albert Chang. He was pretty cool. He played music. He was good in violin, I think it was. And he did a lot of magic on streams, which aren't a lot of these days. So it's kind of sad to see him go in that way, and sad for the counterpart to also have that experience. Then we have wait, I don't know why it's ordered like this, but we had a streamer that was canceled for gambling. That's It's Slicker. I don't know much about him actually. I don't know why I put him in the list. But it was a shocking one because he lent a lot of money from streamers that are more notable, like Ludwig, and yeah, never gave the money back. Or he he just had an addiction, and they called him out for it. And then I think at some point he gave the money back, or I think Ludwig and multiple other friends of him said, "Listen, we don't need the money back, but stay away from me." Was the basic idea. So kind of sad. Yeah, you see here many other streamers says Pokemon, Hassan Piker, Miskiv, sorry, XQC, and more. Wait. Oh, I thought he also lent from them, but he did. He did. I'm sorry. I'm reading what Bing AI is trying to tell me. Nah, okay. He just lent a lot of money from different streamers. That's it. And but the interesting part with him with Slicker was that he suddenly disappeared. Right, there's nothing to be seen from him ever again, and that's kind of weird. I thought that was a weird one. Miss Q Gemini. Wait, is she actually cancelled? Actually, I didn't look this up. Shit, I should have. Let me look that up real quick. But she was cancelled for her controversy with cheating. She was caught cheating while live streaming her gameplay in early June 2017. I think she was playing CS:GO, and she had wall hacks on, and I think some other stuff. I don't think she had auto aim on, or maybe she did. I'm not sure, but the wall hacks one was definitely on. And it's a really funny video where she tries to plays it off that someone else left those cheats on her computer. Really terrible. Let me see. She was banned on Steam. She's back on Twitch. Yeah. I guess she is ultimately back. Sorta? Oh no. She's not back yet. She has she has disappeared. Um I mean, maybe for the better, right? The same person. Yeah, I don't think she's back in any way. So that was an interesting one. She was caught cheating. So this is finally a light one again. And then on the same trend of female streamers, there was one called Alinity, who threw her cat on stream and was cancelled for it. It's a light one. I mean, it's animal abuse. I mean, it's not a light one actually, to be honest. Ooh, the Shane Dawson cat controversy. That's also a big one. But for her, I mean, hers was funny because she tried to cancel PewDiePie, for having just some reaction to her videos in compilations and stuff. So she ended up being canceled for throwing a cat. So that's yikes. She has since been nicer to her cat, so don't worry about her. She's back on YouTube. She has had therapy and seems to be doing better with her new friends. Oh, this is a big one. This is Andrew Tate. He's canceled for just being a misogynist. But his is interesting because he is canceled, but he made his cancellation his own. He just kept being him, and he's still a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, he's an interesting guy to just follow. Not follow as in his views, just follow as in the news around him, because it's just crazy how relevant he's staying even though he's cancelled. Okay, and then in more recent news, we're coming to the recent news that got me to make this list anyway, or just look at these people in the first place, and that is Pokemon's cancellation, which is a small one. There's been many of these kind of. That's why I put a spotlight on this one, because these kind of cancellations happen throughout the years about many other people in similar situations, because I think Valkyrie had the one with her a makeup that had blue light blocking in it for some reason, which isn't a true thing. And there were many of those kind of things that happened, and like this one too, where the cancellation is not really anything, to be honest. Um, this one is about she made a new snack called Minus Snacks, which is a midnight mini cookie, I think it's called. It's a specific cookie that is just this darker cookie that's small and round. And I think the controversy is that there was a cookie that existed before with the same ingredient list and same kind of same packaging, but not the same logo and all. And the controversy is that she is just slapping her name on an existing product. But what her response to that is that the company that made the product that people are accusing her of slapping her name on kind of is it was it was an existing product, and she was slapping her name on it, but it was a product that wasn't in circulation anymore. It was just a test. That same company where she made this cookie, they did a test to bring it out, but it didn't succeed. She just was out to look for snacks she can make that is more friendly to the gamer lifestyle, and she just decided that that midnight mini cookie that has been basically off the shelves already, She wanted to make that kind of cookie again, so they reused the recipe, not the cookies. The cookies were gone, obviously, because they can't stay for that long. I think it was a year old recipe. So they reused the recipe. They added a few things and adjustments. And she says that she has been doing it for 2 years. And finally, they have now come out. I think they are also added with vitamin D, which is very deficient for people who are constantly inside because they have, sunlight gives you vitamin D, but you can supplement it, and that's in this way. She thought it was a good idea to also put it in, make it really friendly for streamers or just gamers in general, or people who just sit inside. Which is a nice idea. I think it's a nice idea. But they were just then, yeah, little. I think I slipped into Dutch there. People were really hi ho about, oh, you are just slapping your name on it, but like, if we don't even talk about what the process was of making the cookie, it's normal that that names are being slapped onto products, right? They call it white labeling. They also call it I think this it's just a relabeling effort, I think it's called. Where people like buy in unlabeled versions of a product and then slap their own logo on it. That's a thing. It's a thing, and it's not bad. It's just you're paying for the name, basically. How weird is that? I mean, there's like what is it called? There are brands like what's that one called with the monkey, um with a cartoonish monkey. I forgot what that one was called. But there's that one. It's overpriced. The clothes that are sold are not of super high quality, not by any means. And you're just paying for the name. It's a normal thing. So what are people complaining about? And it doesn't even have her name in the packaging or on the packaging. So yeah, I don't know. This is a weird one. I think she's fine. So that's what, and she has been taking the. I mean, she's a trooper, to be honest. I'm not a fan of her or anything. Like I've been seeing. I'm actually scared of her. I don't really like her content, to be honest. I've tried. I just like the energy she gives when it comes to like this accomplished woman kind of energy, and she is charitable to a lot of people. She has been giving out money to people in need, for instance, also to people who are in heavy student loan situations, and she just paid off their debt. I meant, she's done nice things, and here her and her former group Offline TV, they have been doing a lot of these kind of stuff. But I think, what was I gonna say? I lost the thread. Oops. She's. Yeah, it's not like I like her. So it's not that like I am defending her. I just don't think this is one of those times where we have to attack her. And she has been taking it greatly, and she's a trooper. She has had controversies year in year out, and so she knows how these things go. So she didn't even take time off. She just kept on promoting her cookies, spreading the word from, hey, don't worry, these cookies are not what you think they are. They are not just um, cookies with slapped on names. No, she developed it herself. It's her version of the recipe, so it's her um, personal brand, and she's gonna make more snacks in the same vein, not really in the same style. It's not gonna be per se chocolate cookies, because I think they're chocolate cookies in this case. So they're gonna be different kind of cookies, and I think that's respectable, right? So it's a small controversy, but these are the kind of controversies that happen year in year out on several occasions, and it doesn't really matter if it's like a mainstream controversy or not. This one is a weird one. Okay, Gerard Khalil. This article has misspelled his name. he's also called the completionist or the one video gamer. I think it's called that one video gamer on YouTube, and he had a charity event called Indieland, where they would you know ask for donations towards a certain cause. In this case, it was, I think it was an Alzheimer's research institute. They were donating to, or they were saying they were donating to those kind of uh, um, companies and or not companies. I would say institutes still, um, and but and they did it because of their mom, right? Because their mom suffered for a while with Alzheimer's, and they couldn't get any help for her per se, so she did end up passing. So they decided to, in her name, keep on donating and helping other people with the same similar kind of problem. This controversy is weird though, because this not too long ago, uh, not too long ago, it was known that they have accepted the donations from fans, but haven't ever donated it to the organizations they were supposed to donate it to, which is weird and kind of iffy. The the situation is that they were they claim that they are searching for the right place to donate the funds to, because they don't deem the places they were going to donate to as worthy enough or something, or not. They haven't really, they have been vaguely inferring that, but or suggesting that, but if it's true, we don't know. And they were going to find a new place where they could donate the money to, but haven't gotten to that time yet. Except that this event of Indieland has been going for almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years now. The CEO is this person, the Gerard Khalil, the completionist. His brother is the one who does the communications for the Open Hand Foundation, which is the organization they use to do the donations with. Um, but so his brother is saying, yeah, we still have to find places to donate to, and Gerard said, "Oh, I didn't know that. Why didn't anyone tell me?" But he also claimed that he was trying to find a way, or he been known since 2022 that he was trying to find a way they could still donate. But the problem is that this year another event took place called Indieland again, and they have again said that they have donated to certain places, but they haven't in reality. So if he didn't know since 2022, sorry, why is he now claiming that he has donated but also didn't know, or did know? Because he should have known since 2022. So during Indieland of this year, 2023, he should have known and not claimed to have already donated towards um those events. If you want to know more about this, you can find a video by Carl Jobst and some ordinary gamers. They have done a video about this specific subject and the weirdness of it. So if you want to have more information about that, you can check it there. So that were a lot of cases. I was thinking my list was short, but now I'm thinking, oh my god, my list was too long. This is too long of an episode. How can I? Oh my god, this is a travesty. I should be canceled. Okay, that's a bad joke. So I was this is my sleep. Actually that's enough. That's enough. That's enough of this. I am canceled. I am canceled. In any case, that was basically the rundown of all the controversies I wanted to talk about, and it's very interesting the way when you take all of that in. Right, there's a lot of different kind of cancellations, and also a lot of different resolutions to cancellations. In some cases, you get the news, oh, there was false allegations. I don't know if I spoke. Well, the Jared one had some false allegations in it. Um, yeah, most of them had. Yeah, some of them had false allegations in it, and they come back. They come back stronger. They tell their story, and then they are received pretty well. Um, or they are trying to come back, and they don't like what they see back when they're back in the business, and they leave. Some of them are accepted back before they even came back. So some of them are just canceled into oblivion, and you don't even know why they're really canceled for, because they're people who are canceled and came back for way worse. You know, if you think about, um, I don't know. I think it's so weird to think about how the hypocrisy sometimes comes in for society, and how they view these kind of cancellations, and also how they exact these cancellations. Um, and but what can you do about it? There's nothing to do about it, right? You just have to accept it as it is, and that's what those the cancelled ones have to also abide by, because you know, that's just it's par for the course in the kind of business you are in. It's sad, but it's like that anyway. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see all those cancellations, and if you think about where they ended up in and where they are now, or some of them that are just left in obscurity. Um, yeah, what more is there to say about it? It's just something that's been on my mind, right? This has been on my mind. It's just interesting to think about. I think that's why I wanted to talk about the Pokimane one, the most recent one, is because it makes you think about all the other cancellations that happen, and how minor this one is compared to all of those, right? So sometimes we just make an elephant of a mosquito. I think they call. I don't know how that saying goes, but something like that, right? We just exaggerate it into a lot about all these issues that aren't really issues. Should it be talked about? Maybe. I mean, for instance, like again, the Pokemon one. If it really was like what people say it was, then yes, then it would have been bad. But I think again, there's another way to approach this controversy, right? I think it's I think because it's on the internet, these celebrities are on the internet, and these um controversial or opinions of controversy are also on the internet. You basically get to see or these celebrities get to see those faster, because if you think about it, um uh musical artists, film artists, or just actors, um they don't really feel the immediate blowback from internet controversy, because that's not the space they live in, you know. So usually it will hit them later, or in another way, or something like that, right? They will hear about it later. um but when it comes to controversy for internet people, they as they live there, they see it, people, their peers are talking about them, talking to them about them, then they are much more in the know of their own controversies in that space. And yeah, I guess then that's when it hits harder, because also that's when the fans know they are affecting them much better, right? I think that's also part of it, right? People are sometimes just searching for things to cancel people by, just because they want to cancel that person. And if it affects them in some way, then yes, they won, right? I think that's basically what's happening there. So yeah, let's just be mindful of any future news we get of cancellations, and it's always better to do your own research into whatever happened in any situation. I didn't do much research just then, but some of those were old enough where we basically got the confirmation that the alleged things were kind of right, but they're still alleged. But you know, they're still shitty people. If they weren't shitty people, they would have been bounced back somehow already, or you know, gave some kind of like um, some peep about their innocence, right? That's why I believe Jared's one, because he was very focused and laser focused on the communications with a minor thing, which he didn't do. He was very explicit about that one. So yeah, that's all I have. It's a weird one. This is a weird one. It was a weird experiment. Um, I'm always full of regret, but even if I'm full of regret, I hope you kind of, you know, had something, got something out of this. But I did feel in this episode, much more than any other episode, I did feel my lack of English in this one much more. I don't know if it's today. I don't know if it's the topics I was talking about, but yeah, I just hope this was somewhat um yeah, entertaining for you, as it kind of was for me. Though it was fun looking back at all those, even though there were very controversial stuff that were noted there. But it's fun to look back at what life I used to lead and what people I used to follow and where we are today. And yeah, that's where I leave you at. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I almost stopped the wrong one. There we go. Well, that's it for this episode. Um, yep, that's it. I'll just stop streaming. I was gonna stream something else, but I don't have much time for that anymore. So or maybe I'll do it. What time? Yeah, I think I'll stream Mario RPG after this. So come back in a bit and we'll do that. And I'll see you guys later.